Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to listen to some mumbly jumbly. All the way from St. Albans, your host for tonight, Abs the Magic, Super Coach Godfather.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining. Today we are going to start with controversy. Now, we are not going to start with Clayton Oliver. Now, I'm not telling you not to start with Clayton Oliver, but I'm just telling you the reasons that Abs Magic will not start with Clayton Oliver. There are a few factors. Namely, number one, he walked out on training at Abs Road Oval 2 weeks ago. He was upset. So he walked out. He wanted more money. I said, I can't afford you. He didn't listen. He said, I want 700k. I said, I'm not paying it. And he walked off. Let's go through all the reasons. One player doesn't make a team, but one player can ruin an entire team structure. And for me, for Abs Magic, when one of my players wants 700k, all the rest of my players are happy to collect their 600ks and 500ks and whatever they're collecting, this Oliver, he stands out. He says, I want more money. He's demanding it. Well, at Abs Magic, we are a team. We're not individuals. We can't afford to pay one man 700k. So, unfortunately, that's one of my reasons. Team structure. It just doesn't balance when I got Oliver in there. That's one reason. But the other reasons are more important. What scares me the most with Clayton Oliver is the magic number. Especially it being so high, and I'm expecting a very high graph at the start and then dropping. Okay, so I'm going to explain what I'm talking about. Okay, because you probably think I lost my marbles now. Okay, just calm it down. Now, there's a 3-week scoring cycle. All right. This is to calculate your averages or your break evens. All right, and your price. That's why we use a 3-week scoring cycle. Now, the first week, they give you your average. So it's 130, all right? That goes in there automatically. Now, your round one score then goes in the second slot. I'm going to give Oliver a generous 150. I think he can do it, all right? I'm even not starting Oliver knowing he's going to score 150. Now, how crazy is this, all right? So I'm giving him 150. In round two, I'm going to give him 130. I think he can do it. Good captain stuff. This is 150 for the first round. You're going to get 300 points in round one. I'm going to miss out on all that. And you're going to get another 130. Now, in round three, when prices come into action, because the first 2 weeks, the scoring cycle wasn't working. All right, so once there's free scores in there, the scoring cycle starts working. So now prices go up and down. All right. That 130 drops off. The first 130 you see drops off. So it becomes 150, 130, because that 130 at the end goes second. And then your score. And I'm going to give him a 120 now. Actually, I'm going to give him another 130, all right? Just to make you happy, all right? Just to calm it down. I'm going to give him another 130. Now, that's round three. And I'm being very generous with that 130 in round three. And I'm going to explain to you why. But I gave him 130. So now his price, which was 700k, might go to 710k now. It might actually go up. His price is going to go up. But just to calm it down. Don't get too excited. Now, in round four, that 150 drops off. Okay? So it becomes 130, another 130. I'm predicting a 100. Okay, I'll tell you why in a minute. Just calm it down. It's Clayton Oliver, I know. But he's going to score 100 in round four. I'm telling you now. Don't captain him in round four. Now, what happens in round four? That 700, because he scored a score of 100 hurts a player priced at 710 so bad. It's similar to scoring a 60 when you're priced at 600. Now, when you score 100 and you're going to drop down. You might drop down to, let's say 680k. All right, so we haven't lost much yet. In round 5, one of those 130s drop off again. So you got 130, 100, and I'm giving him another 100. Now you're going to think I've lost my marbles more. I've lost all my marbles now, but no. I'm going to explain. I'll just calm it down. I'll explain why these scores are coming. So now his price has dropped to around about 640k. I'm just guessing, but it's pretty close, all right? Now, in round 6, that 130 drops off. It goes 100. 100. I'm going to give him a 150 in round 6 to make you happy now, because you were so upset I gave you 2 100s. Give him a 150. But his price is now less than 600k. Okay? This is how I'm forecasting it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen like this, so just calm down. Don't just go into your program, just delete Oliver now. No. This is my forecast. My forecasts have been wrong many times. Millions of times I've been wrong. And I've been right at least once. But sometimes that once comes up. Okay? So just calm down. And I'm going to explain to you everything. I'm going to explain my thought process, why these scores are coming. Okay? Now here is Oliver. Now let me explain one more thing to you. I love Oliver. I'm going to bring him in. I didn't start Oliver last year either. I didn't have Laird last year. Oliver came into my team in round 7 last year. I managed to do it last year. I'm going to manage to do it again this year. If the system isn't broken, you don't fix it. You stick with it. Okay, now let me explain to you about Oliver. Let me go down. In round 1, he plays against the Dogs. I gave him 150. I think that's generous. In round 2, he played against Brisbane. I gave him 130. Now, I think I was being very generous because he has the potential. I mean, last year, he scored 118. He scored a 140, but also scored 118. He's also scored a 94. So, I mean, giving him a 130, I was being very generous, okay? The following week, now against Brisbane, okay, he's going to have a tagger. I would say Berry's going to tag him. You can mark down Brisbane Lions. I'm not going to let Oliver run loose. He's going to be tagged. So you got one tag. In round 3, he's played against Sydney. He scored. I gave him 130. I was going to give him 120, but Clark's going to be on him. Okay, and Clark is not going to let him loose. They might even put someone else on him, but he's scored 130 in the past, so he can still do it. So I gave him 130, but they're still going to get tagged. So he's going to get tagged in round 2 and in round 3. Let's keep going. Round 4, he has West Coast. Against West Coast, he's struggling to score. His highest ever score is 140. He hasn't scored over 100 in the past 3 games or 3 years. West Coast are going to tag him. They always tag him. Okay, so I'm giving him 100 for this. He hasn't cracked 100 yet. I'm giving him 100. The following week, he's playing against Essendon. Now Essendon's going to tag him as well. They've got a tagging coach. They've got the best tagger that's ever tagged. He's a coach of Essendon midfield. And they've actually gone and said they're going to start tagging. Who's Essendon's tagger? Let me tell you who Essendon's tagger is. Let's go to Essendon. Midfield. I'll show you him. There he is there. This is the danger man, Caldwell. He's going to tag. He is one of the best taggers. He destroys players. Ask Lachie Neale how Caldwell tagged him. So, if you are getting Oliver to be your captain, I'm happy. You had a thought process. You're thinking about getting him as a captain. But when you're captaining a player that's going to be tagged 4 weeks in a row, 1, 2, 4 weeks, he's going to be tagged against Richmond. He's going to go bananas. And the following week, but you know what? That's when I'm going to pick him up against Richmond. And I'll have these games, Richmond, North Melbourne, Gold Coast. That's when I'll get him. But I'm going to miss all this. And I'm going to get his price drop. And there's more. Now, there's one more piece of information which I want to feed to you about Oliver. His name is Grundy. Now, Grundy is not the same as Gawn. Gawn feeds Oliver. He finds Oliver. Grundy, he's not as good as a tap ruckman as Gawn is. Okay? Now, Grundy also is a better player on the ground than what Gawn is. So Oliver not only will miss out on some of the tap work that Gawn would give him, but he'll still get it because Gawn is still going to ruck. So he's still going to get those clearances. But when Grundy comes into the ruck, which let's say it's 50% of the time, or even 40% or whatever, even 30%, all right? But it's still a percentage. When Grundy comes into ruck, he may not be as effective for Oliver as when Gawn is in the ruck. Okay? Now, not only will Grundy not give him the clearances as Gawn is giving him, but Grundy will also take away the tackling that Oliver is getting because Grundy tackles. So Grundy's work on the floor is elite. He's probably the best ruckman, besides English, on the floor, in ground level. So Grundy, once he hits the ball, he dives on the ball and tackles the player. That's Oliver's job. But now Grundy's taking that job away from him too. So there's a Grundy influence in there somewhere. We haven't seen it. I want to see it too. But it's no big deal because Oliver's going to be a champion. He's probably going to finish at number one midfielder again this year. But is he worth 700k? That's the part that is killing me. Especially with 4 tags coming in a row. I mean, if the 4 tags were coming in round 17, 18, 19, I'll start Oliver. I have no problems. I'll start him as well. But those 4 tags are coming 4 weeks in a row. For a player priced at 700k, it's put me off. I just can't start him. It doesn't make any logic for me to start him. Now, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't start him. Okay, I'm not trying to convince you not to start him. I'm just telling you why I'm not starting him. Okay, I'm just giving you my explanation. Because I've heard some people say, oh, it's a no-brainer. You should start him. Now, what is the definition of no-brainer? What does that mean? Does that mean I not have a brain? Just to calm it down. Okay, no-brainer. Okay, I don't like that term. All right, that's putting someone else down. When someone says it's a no-brainer, that means he's smart, he has a brain, and the person that doesn't do it doesn't have a brain because it's a no-brainer. No. I'm sorry. There's a reason for everything. And that's one of the reasons why I will not start Oliver. You know, that's all for today. Thank you for joining. And always remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.